Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anita Newby and today I am going to be reviewing another movie for you. This movie was released in August of 2021 in theaters and it stars Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I am going to be reviewing Free Guy. If you've seen it, I invite you to check out my thoughts, and if you haven't, stick and stay and I'll give you some ideas and some thoughts and some things to watch out for when you see Free Guy. All right, I am delighted to be back with you. I know I've been gone for a little while, had just hit a busy season of my life. You know, that happens. But I am back with my movie reviews and so excited to take a look at Free Guy today. I was waiting for this movie to come out because I am just, in general, delighted by Ryan Reynolds. Anything that he's in, I'm amused, I'm captivated. I enjoy him. So I was very excited to see this movie and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. But let me give you a little bit of background of my attempts to see this movie. So I wanted to see it the weekend that it came out. So I bought a ticket and I went to the show and got into the theater. And the theater that we're in, the movie started, we went through the previews, the trailers, the commercials, all those things. So excited. Movie starts. Movie's going good for about 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden it starts freezing, like literally stopping and then starting again and skipping ahead and then stopping and starting again and skipping ahead. So it got very frustrating for those of us who were attempting to watch the movie. We notified the theater, of course, and they came in and they said, okay, we're going to restart the movie. We're going to try again. So they restarted the movie, but they just didn't restart the movie. They restarted the commercials and the pre-show and the trailers and everything that we had already seen before. So again, we had to sit through another, 25 minutes of flawless video before we get to the movie. So we're excited. Movie starts again. I've now been in the theater for about 40 minutes. Movie starts again. We get to the same point, and again, the movie starts stopping and starting, freezing. So we kind of just gave up and left the theater, and I was so disappointed because I really wanted to see this movie. The theater, of course, gave me a free voucher for another ticket, or they offered us a refund. I took the free voucher because I go to the movies all the time. What difference does it make? So I had to wait. That was on a Sunday, and I had to wait because of my schedule to go back and see the movie the next weekend. And so I was in great anticipation because I think I had really at that point only seen about 20 minutes of the movie. 15, maybe 20 minutes. I might be stretching it with 20. But I had only seen a few minutes of the movie. But what I had seen of the movie so far had me very excited. I was intrigued. I was all into it. I had figured some things out, that it was about a video game, which I think everybody knows at this point, that it's about a character who is one of the background characters in a video game, and he takes a different position. And that is Ryan Reynolds' character, and his name is Guy, because he's kind of generic. He's just a background character. So when I went back to the movies, it put me kind of in a different position because when I got ready to watch it, I knew what it was about and I knew it had a gaming background. So I was very aware of the background of the movie. There's a lot going on in the movie. You have to listen to dialogue. You have to watch what's going on visually. It has video game effects. You want to read some of the things that are back there, just some very funny things that are happening. But because I kind of had that preview into the movie, I was able to pay a little more attention than I probably would have paid normally to background items and objects and signs and all of that. And let me tell you, I was delighted that I did. So if you're going to see this movie, let me give you a heads up if you haven't seen it yet. Pay attention to all the stuff in the background. And I tell you, this was one of the movies where I was like, man, I wish I could see this at home because I could pause it and really read those signs. Anyway, that's just a sidebar. But let me get into the heart of this movie. If you haven't guessed by now, I absolutely adored this movie. I thought it had everything. It was entertaining. It was energetic. It was not boring for one moment. It was ridiculous, but it made complete sense. It was silly, and yet it was smart. It was clueless, and it was clever all at the same time. And I appreciated that about the movie. It is, I think it's labeled kind of as a comedy and action movie, but you get elements of, a little bit of intrigue. You get a little bit of romance. You get all these different things in this movie. And let me tell you, when I left the theater, I could not stop smiling. I just smiled. I was smiling walking to my car. The people who left the theater were smiling. They were laughing. They were talking. They were interacting with each other. And you know that generally only happens if a movie is really good. So I just want to encourage you to see this. Ryan Reynolds, for me, I think I stated already that I really do just enjoy watching him. And for whatever reason, I find him very convincing in whatever role he is in. Whether, he's the good guy, the bad guy, the semi-good guy, the villain, the straight shooter, the bad guy. I enjoy him and I find him to be very convincing when he's being genuine, when he's being sarcastic, whatever it is, I just feel like he delivers it in a very believable way. So here we are with Ryan Reynolds in this movie, Free Guy, and he's Guy. He's this dude that does the same thing every day. He has a very monotonous life, but because he's programmed as such, it's not alarming to him initially until some things happen in the movie. But it's the story of this guy who really begins to step outside of his norm, step outside of his programming, step outside of, the things that were planned for him. And he really, which is very interesting, and it's very interesting the way they approached it in the film, he really begins to think for himself. How does this happen? How does the programmed character in a video game begin to think for themselves? Well, I'm going to leave that to you and leave you to see it. But I will say this. I thought that it was handled so well because there were places where, not places where it could have gone wrong, but the idea, if it had not been well developed, it could have bbeen really ridiculous and could have been silly. And yes, there was silliness in the movie, but everything had a reason. Everything had substance to it at the end, behind the scenes, just like a video game. Things were presented and you only see one aspect of it, but when they got behind the surface into the reason some things were happening, it made a lot of sense. I thought this movie really was fantastic. I have zero complaints about this movie. The only complaint I have is that I could see more of it. I'll take a little bit more. I hope there's, Free Guy 2 as they, I hope there's Free Guy 2 because it was just fantastic. It was so enjoyable, so entertaining. I thought the cast of characters that were assembled really held their own, and they did. They had, some of these characters had to be in real life and on a screen. And just having to do that, creatively from a movie making standpoint, I thought they handled that so well. Getting these people to, in real life to have these features and these characters in a game, it was so intriguing. So you got a little insight into how gaming works and some of the, the things that gamers do. So if you're a gamer, I think you'll be very intrigued by it. I am not a gamer, but I used to play video games a lot back in the day, but still it held my attention and it held my interest. I thought the other cast members were very good. You had some cameo voice appearances. I would encourage you to read the credits and see all the people who are in this movie because it's quite interesting. You have the people who are the background characters in the film and them rallying together, just trying to maintain their existence. So it's very heartfelt. It's heartwarming. It's funny. It's comedic. It's convincing. It has a little bit of a messaging side of it. There's some unexpected things like references to other films that are absolutely hilarious. So I thought the comedy was handled so well. The action, the ridiculousness was handled with, I don't know, for lack of a better term, it was handled with kid gloves because sometimes things in a movie can be ridiculous and it can just go south. But all the ridiculousness in this movie had a purpose and it had a meaning. And I'm so grateful that I saw this movie. 2 thumbs up. It gets 10 out of 10 for me. I just loved it and enjoyed it so much, and I'm going to see it again. I may go to the movies and see it again, or I may wait till it comes on TV so I can actually pause and get all of the jokes. And again, the levels of humor that was in this, not just, there was some physical comedy, but there were some things that you had to be on the top of your game to really pick up because because things went very quickly, but I really did appreciate this movie. I appreciated all of the characters who were in it, Guy's best friend, Buddy, and then Guy shows up later as Dude, it's just intriguing. The poor barista, he orders something, he goes into the coffee shop that he goes into every day, and he gets the same thing every day because everybody in the town gets the same thing because it's called Free City where they live. And then he asks for something else. He asks for a cappuccino. Threw the whole thing out of whack, and that poor barista, her little facial expressions, and she was so good. But I felt that everybody was really good in this movie, and it was really entertaining and enjoyable. So I hope you will see this movie. And again, if you watch this video and you have not subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe, like it, just give me a little activity on it, share it with your friends, and encourage them to see this movie as well. And no, I'm going to keep coming with some more movie reviews. I'm thinking I'm going to take a different approach to some things. I'm going to do some new movies, but I'm also going to do some throwbacks and give a little different insight where I can really, break apart movies that we've already seen before. So I hope that you've enjoyed this review of Free Guy. I hope you will see it. I hope if you like Ryan Reynolds as much as I do, you will check this movie out, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. If you don't like this movie, please let me know, because everybody that has seen this so far has liked it. So if you don't like this movie and you've seen it, please comment below, because I need to know what's up and what you thought. So thank you again for tuning to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate you checking out my video, and I hope you will see Free Guy.